Hello, everyone out there watching us, watching you, watching us, watching you. Hope you're good. Hope you enjoyed the last podcast as much as we did making it. You, mate, you well?
Superb, as per normal.
What have you been up to? Come and tell us.
I just had a birthday.
Oh, happy. Come on, a little clap in there. Happy birthday. And how many years young are you?
67.
Fuck off, you're much fucking younger than that. Fucking hell. Leave it out. God,
Leave it out.
Yeah.
Cockney Herbert, ain't I? 77.
77. No fucking way.
No
way.
I want to get to the Octarian. I want to be an Octarian.
Oh, fucking hell. An octopus. Can't wait.
I had normal life. Looking after the kids, fucking about, going out the mills, with my dog.
And what,
sorting all your fucking troubles out.
what did your birthday cost you?
There's a story there, but we ain't got time. I put my foot down because she wanted to go. She booked the same.
I'm not buying my own fucking presents, all right?
Yeah.
I draw the line.
So, and she knew I meant it, and I said, "We're not paying a fucking penny. It's my birthday. We ate as all the fucking meal, and I went down to you, Blondie. Everybody was there, but my old woman got a card out. I paid it. What do you do? You're in a restaurant, you can't lose your rag, can you? And I went, what the fuck are you doing? She said,
You never been in a restaurant and lost your rag? All right, no, I'm glad you had a nice birthday, mate, even though it's probably cost you an arm and a leg.
It did.
I never actually sat there and thought, what can I buy myself for my birthday this year? Never mind.
She did buy me a designer belt, Blondie.
Oh, nice. Hope you're well out in internet land. And if this is your first time of watching myself and Stevie Boy,
You're going to be discussing yourself.
yes, you should be disgusted. You should be amongst the
Or
the
you might
thousands.
they might have a wonderful life and they haven't got to ring us.
Well, we might do, but at least I think we're still a bit of entertainment, though, aren't we? Let's be honest.
Try.
Let's be honest. I'm hoping that we get the OBEs and stuff once old Big Ears has fucked off, because I don't want them at him. I'm gonna say something like, "What does it feel like to be an adult? An adulterer? Whoa, you can imagine. Where's your brother living these days?
No, we can't. Listen, we can't go into. We could do one.
No, I'm just saying, if when we get the old, fucking services to men's mental health, blah blah blah, and we get all of that, I want it off of Will's, because I went to Will and Kate's wedding.
You did.
I did.
Security.
So I can't really talk about it. It's still classified. But yeah, I want it off for Will. Will's going to make a brilliant king. Not like his little fucking ginger twat of a brother and his fucking stroppy missus. No, I want to get it off for Will. I don't want it off for Charles. So tell me, Graham.
I want to get it over and done with. I don't want the embarrassment. Just get it over and done with. Give it to us. You know what I mean?
Just turn up.
And we won't boast.
Get the medal, top hats, give us the Merc. Give us the Range Rovers, and then we'll just disappear into the background. That'll be it. So if you haven't got a gist of all the old bollocks that we talk about, then that's a little taster.
We must do Andrew at one time. It's
I think a few people have said that. Fucking do Andrew.
Not right this minute, because
right,
we've got to do Andrew.
I've got to say this because I saw it the other day. You see like little clips and this and the other, and it was on Instagram, and they were I don't know who the interviewer was, but they're interviewing one of the ex-Royal Protection officers. And the guy sat there and they said, so did you have any, what was the code word for Prince Andrew? And he said, his code word was Purple 4-1 moving or something like that. Yeah. So they're like, right. She said, did you have any nicknames for him? He said, yeah. He said, but I don't think you'll hear it. And she said, well, no, tell us. He said, do you want? And he really, really sort of stammered, this guy, he's like ex-copper. And he said, really? Do you want me to say it? She said, yeah. Yeah. She said, we used to call him the cunt. But do you know?
You get SAI?
No, it's not. No, do you know what? And how I can back that up as well is when I was in the service doing all sorts of dodgy stuff and secret squirrel stuff.
That's right.
I used to work with the police a lot, armed response and all the rest of it. And a few of them had done Royal Protection. And they looked after Harry when he was younger, and they said, he was always pissed, give him a slap, throw him in the back of the car, and be like, oh, guys, it was okay last night. No, he's a bit of a knob, actually. But they said the one royal that no one ever wanted to do a duty for was Andrew. Gospel. Straight from the horse's mouth. If you want to chat with us, give us a call, 07762 99 1973, and you'll get put through to Stevie Boy.
Right, yeah.
If you are in desperate trouble and you need help, you need to speak to someone urgently, 1116123 is 24-hour helpline with Samaritans. Great bunch of people, and we always push and promote them every week. We've had a few of them on the show before, interviewed them. Fantastic bunch of people. So this week's subject is. Oh, good mind that. Yeah. There we go.
It's the stress and anxiety of a trolley dolly.
A trolley dolly.
Now,
I might as well just shut the fuck up now.
We are woke here, I tell you. We use all the latest terminology. Trolley dolly, yeah.
we are fucked.
So if you didn't know, I term myself as flight crew, but people then generally say you're a captain. Yeah, I can be. So no, I work in aviation. If you didn't know this, I work in aviation. I worked in fire service before, and I've driven trucks, so I'm quite manly. But I now work for a long-haul airline. I worked for one before, I worked for Virgin before, and I'm now moving to a really, 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 really big one. And I can't wait. A proper one. Yeah. Where you get given like new shirts and not second-hand ones. Yeah. So anyway, less about that. So the stresses and strains of being cabin crew or a flight attendant.
Just for one trip.
Right.
Because we talk about this anxiety and stress, irritate more. Can you imagine being on a plane for 12 hours with, some scum of the earth and what have you?
Right.
And there's questions I want to ask you. I'll let you with one straight away.
Go on then.
But is there a lot of pressure there to look good?
Always.
There you go.
Always. And even more so, I would say, and some will disagree out there, at my age.
Yeah.
I know, it's hard to believe. No, but absolutely, at my age, because it's predominantly a young person's career path, do you know what I mean? Or young person's job. And I'm not saying, it's not completely obviously, if it was just a young person's job, I wouldn't be doing it. It's great if you want to expand your brain and travel the world, and generally most airlines, can't really speak for my current one, you'll get concessions, so you can travel across the world for a lot less money, etc. So I've always taken pride in my
Yeah, you've been doing it for years. Yeah.
I've been doing it for years. I've done it in the fire service, always, single crease down the sleeve, and I'm always quite OCD about all of that.
You certainly are.
So
Never been out of the box of trainers, by the way. I just want to throw that in.
Yeah, no, these are lovely. These are New
Never been
Balance.
out of the box.
Yeah, still got a sticker on the bottom. So yeah, but then again, I think there's a lot of pressure on everyone in that industry.
Women especially, you think?
I would say so. Yeah, 100%.
I'm heading this way with the injections. If I don't know if you see where I'm going.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
Do you reckon that's part of? I've got to look good.
100%. The thing being is now is with the injections that Steve's talking about, your Zempic and I can't remember what the other one's called, where you just keep jabbing yourself in the arse every day or every week or month or whatever it is, and then suddenly you end up being like a skinny mini. I don't know what the adverse effects of that or those jabs are. No one really knows. It's been linked with pancreatic cancer and all manner of stuff. My understanding is, only what I've been told, is that once you stop the jabs, the weight will come back on. So it's a hunger suppressant.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And number of people at work, certainly in my airline, number of people have done it. See, I would say it's not as bad as it used to be. It's just because obviously when I was in Virgin, I flew with a lot of people that had been in the industry 25, 26 years. But I know back then, probably 80s, 90s, early 2000s, was if you turn up for training, certainly with the women, you turn up for training and your hair wasn't tied properly, you get sent home. And if that happened twice, they'd send you home and thanks.
Does that still happen? That's going to be one of my questions. So you've got these because they're all pretty girls and whatever. Just say she's 18, 19, very pretty, gets the job, 2 days later, lets herself go. And I mean that in the nicest possible way, ladies, let yourself go, but putting a load of weight on. Would this day and age, would she get pulled up?
Not weight, no, because we're in a different world now, aren't we?
Well, that's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah, no, I think because of the world that we live in now and the society that we live in and the culture and the way things have changed, no. Could you pull someone in and say, it's like you go to the gym every week and you go on the treadmill, same treadmill every day, and a guy gets on the treadmill every day and he stinks to high heaven. How do you tackle that?
Well,
I know how you tackle it, but
So you've been with this airline now about 4 years, maybe. Have you seen what we talk about?
stress
massively,
and anxiety.
massively. So one of the biggest stressors in my current career is sleep deprivation. So what we have is and it's standard, and it's standards like we call FTLs, flight time limitations. So it's a maximum amount of hours, and I think for me it's something like 90 hours a month, like block hours a month, which doesn't sound a lot, but you got to remember that. So for example, last week I came back from Bangkok's 7 hours in front. And if you're there in a 15-hour turnaround. So the flight time limitations will say, well, when you get there, you will go to bed and you will rest. So you will get the minimum amount of rest you need. Now, that's great if you've got a switch on the back of your head and you're a robot and you go, right, all right, I'm recharged now, I'm rested.
Pills, do you know
right, Advil. Or, no, I don't take tablets. I really don't.
Anybody else?
Other crew do, yeah. Absolutely. To get themselves off to sleep. On the inbound flights, most of us, I say most of us, some of us, a lot of us, patience sort of stressor is a little bit thinner than when we. And the thing being is, we're doing night flights going out now. So I'm doing a night flight tomorrow, going out. So I'll be fully charged. But generally, people once the lights go off, they've eaten. Lights go off, they sleep. So, but coming back, I'm going to be knackered because I will be. Not for any other reason than I can't sleep. And what I do now is I just sleep when I feel tired.
Yeah. Hello.
That is the biggest stressor, because sleep deprivation, some people deal with it really well. I was never great with it when I was in the fire service, because obviously sometimes I'll be working 24-hour shifts and through the night. And you're stood on the side of a road watching a burnt out building and just a bit of water going in on it, and you're thinking, God, is this my life? It really is my life. I'd get back to the station, not back to the station, but back to the accommodation for senior officers, and I couldn't sleep. So I think, I'll power through. But it catches up with you.
It does. Yeah.
It really catches up with you. So yeah, and I say this a lot, but generally it is a young person's job. But it's not really. It's great for young people, and I would say anyone out there, if you're in any doubt, I was talking to a couple of guys on a flight out the other week, and this young fella, he said, I'm a brickie. He said, I was trying to be a brickie. He said, I just had enough. He said, sold my van, packed in work. He said, and I bought a ticket. I said, so what are you doing when you get out here? He went, I don't know. And after a while of talking to him, I said, if ever you're in doubt, I said, if you know how to manage people or speak to people, I said, and you don't mind chucking a few buns and pushing a cart, I said, come and do this job. He said, yeah, do you know what? I think I will. I said, because you'll travel and you'll go to different countries. Do you know what I mean? You'll just kind of expand your brain a bit.
Well, as long as you don't fly for Ryanair or something like that.
Well, yeah, but that's a little disclaimer. We're not going to start slagging certain airlines off because, and there's been a couple of times, certainly with the Bangkok flights and the Asian trips, where I've sat staring into space, waiting to get on the plane to come back. I've been so tired, so stressed. I've just thought I might just not get on that plane. I might just walk away from it.
Oh dear!
It's how it gets you. It's how it gets. No, but it does. It gets you. It gets.
What about drug use? Is it like 50% or?
No, I think so. So there's a thing called melatonin, which is like a gummy. So it's a natural. It's a bit like lavender. You know, they say, like, if you want to sleep, put some lavender or drink chamomile or whatever else. And you can buy it in the States. You buy it pretty much anywhere, but they're like little gummies. And I bought a jar of them, and I thought, well, that might help. And I just gave the jar away. I just didn't touch it.
I wasn't into that. I was into the proper drugs.
Oh, that no. As far as I'm aware, no.
Well, as far as you've been 6 years now, probably up in the air. So it's not right then.
We get random drink and drug tested. So I could turn up for the flight tomorrow, and it happened a little while back. And not just me, but me and the crew got tested on the way out, which you think, okay, it's a random drink test, whatever. Obviously, we were all clear. And then when we landed on the inbound flight, they held us on the plane and tested us again. And I looked round and said, they're after someone.
You don't anyhow, do you?
No.
But you can't touch even wacky backy, because that stays in your blood.
Stays in your system,
for
yeah,
about
yeah.
2 weeks, week and a half.
Probably a bit longer than that.
Yeah. Fun parts of it.
Fun parts, travelling.
Again, don't fly for Ryanair.
No.
You've got to get the right airline, ain't you? Long haul.
It depends what you want. Some people love doing short haul.
No,
you know, we have like one night stayovers and all that sort of stuff. The fun parts are you get to work with some great people who've got some like really brilliant stories. You get to, one of the things that I enjoy is working as a team.
Yeah. Well, you've been a team all your life.
Exactly. But I literally did it for the travel aspect. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And like I say, you know, I've not, with the airline I'm going to go to, it's that their routes, they've probably got 100 more routes than the current airline I've got. So you're looking at Canada, I'm looking at, you know, Ontario, Vancouver, looking at Brazil, I'm looking at Maldives, all of them places. And not only that, but across Europe as well.
Nice.
So places I've not been to, Germany, Lithuania, Albania, all of those sort of places. So
you want to go there, or just tick it off? And
if I could, and if I was as rich as you,
no.
I would travel the world, because it is such.
I've been to Germany. It's what it is. It's horrible.
That's not slagging it off. It's where my ancestors are from, evidently, according to DNA, if I get ancestry. But no, definitely the travelling, and I think culturally it expands your brain. So you're talking about Cape Town, and Cape Town is one of the most beautiful places
I know you do, Ray,
that I've ever been to. It can be a bit edgy, but not as edgy as Joburg. Joburg, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't recommend, because you have to stay in your hotel, etc.,
It's what
etc.
it is, yeah.
Is what it is. But Cape Town is beautiful. It's got lovely beaches.
Cheap.
It's cheap. The food is incredible.
The steaks are lovely.
The steak is something else. Yeah. But the service is incredible. So no, what I mean culturally is so you can go to Cape Town where everyone is very kind of, you know, you give them R100, which is like 50p or something as a tip, and it's like you've just fed their family for it. They're so grateful. You can go to the States the following week, and they'll not let you out of the restaurant because you've not given them a big enough tip.
I know.
The tipping out in the States is fucking
horrendous
joke. Yeah. So that's what I mean by culturally. And going to Thailand, you know, it's no wonder they have massage, because everyone in Thailand, and the minute you walk in, they're like, what's a day, or whatever it is. I can never remember. But just beautiful people, very friendly, super nice, and it's a super safe place to be. You know, centre of Bangkok. That's where we stay. So yeah, so that's the thing for me. For me, it kind of eradicated my preconception or my judgment without even meeting these people. And now that I'm starting to meet people from these different places, it honest to God, it throws a different perspective, where people, especially like Thailand, people work every hour that God sends. Right next to the hotel, there's a building site, and they're on there 24 hours.
I don't disbelieve you, but
24 hours.
With tools that are about 100 years old, yeah.
No. These buildings are going up rapidly. So I've stood outside the White House. I've stood by Abraham Lincoln's statue, like memorial.
Yeah. Did you draw a little willy on him?
No, I didn't. No. Where else?
I'd have to do something, you know that.
Yeah, I know you would.
Blow job, something like that.
Oh God. So New York, all the touristy stuff, but alongside the touristy stuff, I've done the not so touristy stuff. I've been down to Dumbo, where you've got it's not the Manhattan Bridge, one of the bridges that goes across, and it's quite a historic place. All of these different places. But how would I have done that had I not?
No, I
be doing the job that I've done. Do you know what I mean? I love riding the subway in New York because it's just weird and wonderful. People put their dogs into bags, you know, carry them in bags. You know, it's nuts out there. It really is. So no, I'm looking forward to experiencing more of it. And like I say, anyone out there, if you're unsure what to do, don't ever think you're too old, because I've just applied to another airline and they've taken me on even at 45. You know, so
you wouldn't have thought they'd say you're not old, is that?
No. I thought, cool, once I hit 46, and that'd be really difficult.
You went all gay then.
We don't say that. No, I've got a new word. You love this. So just a quick, I was watching footy with my eldest boy, and on Sunday, unfortunately, it was his sort of side team, and they got hammered. And when they were doing the Cellar guy that scored, he comes out and they do all these stupid celebrations and everything else. And my boy sat there and said, he went, "Oh, mate, what are you being so zesty for?"
Zesty? Was that Bill?
Yeah.
Where did he get that
And I
from?
said to Bill, "What do you mean zesty?" He went, "Well, you know, you said you can't say gay or anything like that nowadays, can you?" You know, so it just, it absolutely had me in fits. But I just thought I'd share that with you.
No,
So,
I haven't heard that because I'm down with the kids, as you know.
well, don't use the word gay. It's going to be zesty. You went all zesty then.
Bet you went all zesty just then. You did.
No.
You've all heard
No.
the stories about all these solid dollies, males especially, that they're of our gay fraternity. This one,
No, definitely not. I think one of the other stressors for me, and maybe I'm probably not good for hospitality ambassador, is that there used to be, I say used to be, it probably still is, the old adage that the customer's always right.
Yeah.
And obviously we are there primarily, and if you didn't know this, next time you get on a plane, is that we are there for your safety. We're not there to wait on you hand and foot. So we're there primarily for safety.
Yeah, I can imagine.
On the plane, if something goes wrong with someone, you know, and I've had to deal with people that have passed out or convulsing or whatever else. And the kind of serving bit is sort of latched onto that.
Yeah.
Now, when I was with Virgin, there were a lot of people that used to travel in premium that thought they should be getting upper class service on premium tickets. And a guy, a passenger, was quite derogatory to me on this particular flight, but he'd been an absolute pain in the backside the whole flight. The girl that I was working with, we swapped sides, and he said to me, he said, "You're a fucking idiot." And I looked at him, and he wasn't expecting the response that he got. Let's just put it that way, because I don't want to jeopardise anything in my career moving forward. But I won't be. And I had it recently on a Bangkok flight, funny enough. And I said to him, "I really don't appreciate the way you're speaking to me." And what was funny was he was about 95, and he spun in his chair and he went to me, "What are you making such a big fucking deal of it?" And I looked at him and I went, "Fucking." I said, "Do you want to fight me?" "What are you saying like that for? What are you saying like that?" But he was talking like he was a 15-year-old who lives in fucking Stratford. Do you know what I mean, man? Do you know what I mean?
Like me, really.
Oh, honestly. But so I'm not saying that I don't. I will always help people out. I will always. But if you're going to speak to me like something you've just trodden in, expect to get treated exactly the same.
That's right, without chucking a fuck.
Because
You're
if
right,
we're in a new age now of being non-offensive, then I'm not on a plane to get shit off of someone for absolutely no reason. If I've done something wrong, I'll always throw my hands up to it. If prime example, number of trips back, went to serve tea to this guy and it got caught on the tray and I ended up literally fucking Bosch hit him and he screamed. I was mortified. I was absolutely mortified. I said to him, I'm so sorry, take your jacket off, blah, blah. Go into the toilets, take your shirt off. And I just bought like a brand new t-shirt, the white t-shirt. I got the t-shirt out of my bag and I said, just put that on.
It'd be a bit big for him.
So I hung it. Well, no, I mean, it done the job. Hung his jacket and his shirt up, and I said to the senior at the time, I said, I'm going to go on my break, because I feel so embarrassed, and I'd apologise profusely to this guy. But you know what was lovely was, as we were coming into land, I grabbed his shirt and I grabbed his jacket, and it sort of dried off, and I handed it to him, and he put his hand on mine. He said, "Accidents happen, mate."
Oh, what?
And I said, "No," I said, "I'm mortified." He went, "It's fine." I said, "Listen, keep the t-shirt, a little memento."
Right.
But he was so nice about it. Do you know what I mean?
Put a claim in, couldn't he? You know what I mean? People do.
Oh, we could have, but do you know what?
Burn.
It's an accident.
Oh, yeah,
You go into a
burn.
restaurant, someone will trip up and fucking plate will land on you. It was a genuine accident, but I was mortified. But the guy was so nice about it. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about
Christmas card list, that.
yeah, it's all about interaction and it's about your reaction. If I walk up and go, I'm not giving you fucking tea, mate. You know, what's you? But then you've got to expect people to speak back to you like that. But I'm not there to take abuse off of people. And I know there's
None of them should, really. None of them.
no. And it's not even, there'll be people watching this going, well, maybe you're in the wrong job, maybe I am. But I do have patience. But I have patience when someone needs help
Yeah.
or someone wants something and they're talking to me like a human being.
Yeah, not give me this.
It's simple dimples. It really is simple
I've been
dimples.
waiting 10 minutes for this cup of tea. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
You could talk about your rosters, you know, and getting the same trips and, you know, doing different patterns where you're kind of a week away or, you know, I think if you got...
Oh, I could do a week away, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Sue mentioned that. It was like Arkham Asylum, I think it was. But I'm sure I could probably pick out 10 other crew that would come on and say something else, as in, you know, Stresser being the money's crap.
Oh, there's got to be a lot, yeah.
You know, do you know what I mean? They have to have another job because that aviation won't, you know, support a mortgage or anything else.
The story of it, but I've heard this as it goes,
And we might end it on this, yeah.
now I'm looking at you now.
Do you know what? I'm gonna mouth it because I know what he's gonna say. Right? Right, hit me with it.
I've got to ask these first.
Have you ever been on a plane and you're sitting by a complete stranger? You must have done, unless you got the love.
They won't answer you, but yeah, go on.
Yeah. Well, they are in retrospect.
It's a complete stranger, yeah. Okay.
And he dies.
Oh
Over to this man now. Is that what you said?
no, I said Mile High Club.
No,
Right,
no. I know you've done that.
Right, so I've not had it. Touch wood, I don't ever
Well, we
have
don't
it.
need to. We just need to tell the punters what happens. What do you do with that dead body?
Right, with Virgin,
You got your capsules.
I heard-
You told me you wouldn't fucking use it.
you couldn't put a dead body up there.
Why?
How the fucking hell? do
I
you-
saw a film. I did. A couple of weeks ago on Netflix, where everybody was fucking dying on a plane, and they were putting the bodies in the capsules.
No,
they
no,
was.
No, so it's a film. It's a film. Right.
Well, you still, I think it's
Right.
gross what
So
you're going to tell these punters.
Right, so what Steve's talking about is the
body next
capsules.
door,
Is that on certain planes, certainly in the airline that I'm with, we fly 787 Dreamliners. So at the front, there's a door, takes you up some steps, and there's 2 bunks up there that the pilots use. Because obviously, if you're doing, you know, 14-hour flights direct, we've got a rest. Same up the back, but there's 6 bunks. But bear in mind, it's a steep staircase, and then you have to climb yourself into the bunk. There's absolutely no way, because bear in mind, I've carried a few dead bodies that you're dead weight. So how much do you weigh?
11.5, 12.
You fat fucker.
No,
But 11 stone dead weight is probably more like 14 stone.
Yeah.
All right. So no. So what happens is, and this happened not on my watch, but this happened because someone told me the story at Virgin. It's quite sad really, but there was a grandmother and her grandson travelling, and the kid was only young. He was like 6 years old. And obviously on a night flight, the lights go down. You know, we patrol the cabin to make sure. And it generally on a night flight, that's when someone's going to start having problems. And it looked like she was asleep, but she weren't. She passed away. She'd passed away in her sleep. And it was only, I think, when the young fella had sort of got a bit distressed because he couldn't wake her up, and then said to one of the cabin crew, like, I can't wake her up. Cabin crew looked like, oh fucking hell, right, she's gone. Was that the only thing that we can do in those circumstances is we have to be seen to be doing something. So you imagine, right?
Tapping something what you do.
Well, what we do is we would get that person out of the. So let's say someone stopped breathing and there's no pulse, etc. It's our duty to get that person out of the seat, to get them to the nearest open area. Now that's going to be by one of the exit rows because that's where you've got no space, or ideally down to one of the galleys, like the back galley, because then you can pull curtains across and there's a bit of. But in essence, if you're trying to save someone's life, you don't know how long they've been deceased. So you've just got to assume that you have just come across them and
go for it.
And then go for it. So it is distressing. I really wouldn't want to be on a plane when it happens. I've done CPR on a beach down in Barbados, and my good friend Lubo lived to tell the tale. But that's another story for another time. It's horrible having to do it. I've done it in the fire service. It's not fun.
No.
And all of a sudden, you're not in a classroom with a resusciani, with the old plastic head. You're actually trying to kickstart a human being's life again. But what we have to be seen to be doing is doing something. We're not medically qualified to go, they're gone.
No, you've got to try and whatever, but that's not the point I'm going on about.
Right.
I'm talking about jobby.
We would get on the intercom and ask for, is there a doctor on board, blah, 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 medical qualified. We've got access to doctors on the ground 24/7, so we communicate with them.
Yeah.
We're the grunts. So we just carry on going, breath, bunk, bunk, bunk. We carry on going until we're told by a medically qualified person, doctor or Medlink, that you now need to cease giving CPR, and that's that. It's not great. It's not nice. Do we have bags or what? No, we would probably cover that person with a blanket. We would try and get that body into an area where it's not in full view of everyone in the cabin, because out of respect for the person that's passed, and to minimise distress to people on the plane, because it's horrible. I've seen more dead bodies than I can shake a tail at, but. It doesn't. People say, "Yeah, you get used to it." You never get used to it. No. You don't get used to it. It's horrible.
It's not what you told me. It is, but no. What you're saying is fact. Yeah. But I'm talking about end product here. When I asked you, yonks go out, how'd you do it? You've just got Bangkok, coming home from Bangkok.
Yeah.
You're up in the air. Been up an hour, so you're on your way.
Yeah.
Dead body.
Right.
Well, you go through that, because you're trained to do and whatever.
Yeah.
Then we've got a dead body that's got to be sat somewhere or put somewhere.
Yeah.
For 11 hours.
Right. So if you've just taken off, there's every chance, and we've got
I knew you were gonna say
someone
that.
Deceased, that a decision would be made by the captain on the flight deck to say, okay, we're going to divert and we're going to go back. Yeah. That is every chance that would happen.
Let's go into 4 hours into it then, so there's no turning.
So let's say you're halfway through the flight. What do? They'll just carry on, or if it's.
Where'd you put the body?
I just told you.
You didn't.
I did. So you can't
leave it in a galley because you're working, man. You can't.
I don't think we wouldn't be working. We wouldn't be stepping over someone's body in the galley.
You said it. Where would you put the body? You told me when we had a discussion yonks ago. That's why I brought up. You're sitting next to somebody you do not know and dies. You've done all your thing. You said you leave them in the seat and cover them over with a blanket.
I know, but they would always be taken out of the seat.
And then come back and say, "Excuse me," and dump the body.
No, you wouldn't dump it back in the seat. So in essence, we would do whatever we could do to preserve the dignity of that person.
I agree.
But where would we put that person? Because you can't just go. No, you'll never get him up there.
I know you're saying about dead body.
You can't put a dead body into the bunks where the crew sleep.
True, big men like you can't lift up and put it in.
Oh, do you know what? I'd take the Pepsi challenge with you on that one. So let's say I'm the one that's passed.
No.
Right.
I'll
Okay.
take a leg.
Right, okay. It's just never going to happen.
No, it wasn't.
And it's not just getting them in. You've then got to fucking get them out. So no, that is not an option.
But nobody's looking at this.
That is not an option. Full stop.
Another question I want to ask you.
Go on.
No. So I am total recall. This dog's here. I've got to say it because he don't say it a lot. When you saved this guy's life,
yeah.
You said straight on the CPR.
Yep.
Your friend was with the mouth.
Yep.
And you said I was pumping away. 3rd and 4th rib went, happy days.
Yep.
So what? And I logged in there and ain't come out with me. I thought, well, what do you purposely try and break this 3rd and 5th rib so you're nearer to the heart?
No. So in essence, what happens is when you give CPR, you need on an adult, and do you know what? We do a little poddy on this because it is really important, and it's such a simple, basic life-saving skill, and the amount of times it happens is ridiculous. You look at it's becoming even more common now at football matches. We had it at Charlton a little while back, and headphones Ron, I think they called him, Ron Barker, and he passed away. They got him into an ambulance, but in terms of heart stopping, cardiac arrest, or whatever else, and you have to start doing CPR. You need, on the average human body, you need to go down, as in push, compress, a good 3-4 inches.
Cool.
Right.
I wonder if the ribs going to crack.
Right. So when I said about the ribs, is that I said that in terms of I've had it before and I expect it to happen. No. I'm not aiming to do that because obviously but the bottom line is if the ribs break, it doesn't matter. what you're trying to do is compress that heart to get the blood pumping to get it.
All right, it's just
get it going again.
It's just a nonchalant way you said it to me. You said, got him on the floor. You know, your best friend was at the other end doing the business, and you went bum bum bum, and you just automatically said third and fifth went bang, and and it's just logged in there.
So this was, for anyone that doesn't know, this was on a beach in Barbados. Wasn't on duty, was about to leave about 3 hours later, and then these young fellas dragged the body out to sea, and I just do what I've always done and just ran down the beach, turned the guy over. He was dead. I think he'd bashed himself off the rocks or something like that, and then 30 minutes after about 30 minutes got him in the ambulance. He's still going through a lot of trauma with it because he was paralysed, and
30 minutes, long time, isn't it?
It is a long time, but I've stayed in communication with him, and if he's watching this, Lubo, you owe me a pint and I'm coming for it when you can stand at the bar with me. But yeah, it's just he's had him and his wife and his family had a real tough journey with this, and he had neurosurgery just before Christmas, and I've never, in all my years in the service, I've never stayed in touch with anyone that I've resussed but this was just something a bit different. So
and the last bit on that, I want to ask you, mouth to mouth, yes or no, because you get so many conflicting stuff on telling you that no, it's bollocks to breathing, don't do it, and then you get next one, it's got, well, I'll do this, you do that.
Yeah. So in essence, actual mouth to mouth. Have I done it? Yes, I have. Is it nice? No, it's not. Most people would probably defer from doing that, but the only way, so when you do CPR, you do 30 compressions, and then ideally you have the the oxygen balloon and the face mask. You can buy a pocket mask. Like, I carry
never had that on the beach. Oh, it's only you and your friends.
No, we did have it on the beach because one of
they brought it.
The only good thing the lifeguards did, to be honest with you, was they brought this over. But the important thing, so bear in mind, he'd ingested water and he'd asphyxiated. So he's bashed himself, knocked himself out, taken on water, and people say he drowned. You don't drown, you asphyxiate. Yeah. So while I'm doing this, all that's coming out of his mouth is water.
Good stuff.
So airways have to be open. Once the water cleared, you're then trying to get oxygen back in the person's lungs. So it's vitally important. You could listen, you know, if you, and you get this a lot, and I think it's with the Yanks and litigation and all of that, you know, and you try to save someone's life and that, and you see it on Instagram, you know, guy tried to save a kid or saved a kid's life in a swimming pool, and now he's been dragged into court because the kid's got a wonky arm or something. And it was always a question I'd ask when I was in the service, well, what if we don't do it right? And I got the same response every time. You do the best that you can do with what you've got.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, you've done your best.
You tried, yeah.
And that's the thing. And that's why I said to a lot of people, as we like the guy went off to hospital with his missus, you know, there's a lot of backslapping going on. I didn't do it for that. And I said the same thing that I say to everyone. I'd like to think, so Lubo and Tiana, you know, lovely couple, and they're sat on the beach, dream holiday, Caribbean, and all of a sudden he's being dragged out and he's expired. You know, it's that's how life can go and flip. Is that, and I said the same thing to everyone, is I'd just like to think that if that was me and my beloved, that someone would do the same thing for me.
Oh, I would. I know that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Get a microphone here, isn't anything. But we'll do a demo. And there's also
that's one more before we go, because you got this body laying, and you know it's drowned.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's taking a lot of water off.
Yep.
You're doing your pumping.
Yep.
And you said the water's squirting out.
Yep.
Why don't you turn the person upside down?
Okay, so you turn them over.
I know you're saying about dead bodies, but dead weights.
Yeah.
But if there's me and you there, you'll be a muscle, but we could turn somebody up. So why can't you just pick them up to get that water out first before you...
Just to go back to it. So there were 4 young fellas, but I mean, and one of them, he looked like the Incredible Hulk. He was a big lump, this young guy. They dragged him out of the water, and those 4 and me struggled to pick him up.
All right.
He weren't a massive guy, Lubo, you weren't a big chap. Struggled to pick him up, because it's not like you're picking up an ironing board.
No, it's all,
It's everything. and we struggled to pick them up. So the actual idea that you can pick them up by the ankles and do a Wile E. Coyote
Didn't
is
say
just,
the ankles, did I?
but there used to be, and I don't know what technique it is, but it's certainly not practiced now. There used to be a technique where you could lay someone on their front and somehow kind of stretch their arms or rotate their arms, and it would sort of cycle the water out. I don't know what that technique is. All I know is that in order to get that heart going, they have to be on their back, flat, firmish surface, and the beach had to do. And like I say, once the water started clearing, it's probably after about 10-15 minutes that we got a radial pulse, and his eyes were moving, and I thought, right, we've got him back now. Yeah. So, but even in that, it was a very faint pulse, so I just carried on.
Until they turn.
Yeah, because all I'm doing is I'm just making his heart do that.
Yeah.
And trying to get a rhythm back. So yeah, but we do a poddy, only like a 5-10 minute. And I know it's been done. Vinnie Jones done it, and they do, you know, you do it to Staying Alive and all the rest of it. Don't ever do it to Nelly the Elephant. Because there's a bit of Nelly the Elephant, and you go, Nelly the Elephant packed a chunk of sick, but there's a bit in it where it goes, oh. No. So don't ever do it to that. Don't ever do it to that. But
we'll do one, because it is good to know, you know.
Yeah.
We've all got, I've done it once, I told you, when that guy crashed his motorbike next door and smashed his head.
Yeah.
And I've done it. And the reason I brought up about that's the way you're taught on the telly.
Yeah.
But when I went to do it, there's a crowd of people around, but they would do it.
I had people filming. I had, because once I dived in, everyone wanted to go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that in a horrible sense, but I was just focused on, I know what I'm doing, and I know that if he's going to come back, well, it sounds like I'm being big-headed, but I'm not. I wanted to take ownership of it. That was it, right? I'm going to get you back. You're coming back, and that's that. So, but like I say, I think after about 5 minutes, there was a lovely young girl stood there with her phone straight on it all, and I turned around and I remember saying, I think it was along the lines of, if you're not helping, fuck off. Yeah, because you have to. You got the waves crashing, and then we got defib on him. You can't hear the defib machine because you got the noise of the waves. You got people screaming behind. Do you know what I mean? It's chaos. So you have to try and get rid of all of that noise and just concentrate on what you're doing.
Oh, no, I did. But the question I was asking you was about the breathing in the mouth, you know. I done the chest compressions, and so there must be like 12, 13 people who stood around. And I'm shouting, someone giving some air.
Yeah.
Nobody, no. But I turned round and I stopped because he was blood coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And I felt a little bit, I'm not that type of guy, you know, I can take it and it throws it away. But the ambulance eventually came, they stormed in, and I just walked away because I thought, fuck it, if I'd have breathed in his mouth.
No, that's it.
But one of the ambulance men come and give me a knock, I found really good, and he said, I see you walk away like a bit white, you all right? And I just said, sorry. He said, Steve, he said, it's well gone. He said, he says to me, I'm lucky that my hands never went through his chest and come out the back. Yeah. Because he hit the post.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
And then nutted it.
The ribs all fix themselves. But like I say, the heart's a muscle. So you got to get going. Anyway, we've gone on and on and on.
Then there's normal.
But that can be. So there's some really good sides to cabin crew, flight attendants, whatever they called us. There's some not so good bits, but you know, I'd kind of call it work related issues. And then there's stuff that comes along that, you know, I was there, he was there, it happened, and he's still alive, and thank God he's still alive.
Yeah,
fantastic. So if you've got any questions, give us a shout. 07762 99 90 73. Give Steve a call, and he will answer all of your CPR and first aid medical questions.
We're going to do one, and you will watch it.
Yeah. If you're in desperate need and need to speak to someone, 116 123, speak to the Samaritans. Been lovely chatting. We've gone on and on. I've got loads of editing to do now to slice this down, and I'm sure we will.
It'll be all in. Edit it down, and it'll be.
It will be all of me. You'll probably even see the screen, you know, just on this side of it.
Just a bit blurry.
Yeah. We'll blur it out. But anyway, lovely chatting, mate.
Yeah,
you take care, and we'll see you real soon.
With another good one.
Laters.
Ta-ra.